Radhe.
You could say an invaluable gem of knowledge. Saints have written pages and pages and pages of commentary on each sutra. It's from the Brahma Sutra and it says Avriti Rasa Kridupadeshat. उपदेश को बार बार उसकी revision is a very important practice in order to implement what we know of the truth. We hear and it makes a lot of sense and the mind thinks, yes, that's true, this is what I experience as well. But when it comes to putting it into practice, then very soon we forget and everything becomes, you could say, the message which was a strong message to the mind just a few hours ago, in a day or two it just becomes lukewarm and then we forget about it. So that's why revision, and this is exactly the process by which we got attached to the world. The constant contact, the revision. This world is mine. I belong here. I am the body. So that revision we've done for so many lives, that the roots of that wrong knowledge is very deep. Now, the same process, it's not going to be a magic. Although we know what we are hearing is absolutely correct, yet it will take a little bit of time. Definitely far less than what it took for countless years, because the power of this truth, the grace of saints and God, that works along with us to help us to be able to experience this truth and to be able to implement it in a far shorter time than it's taken to deep root the attachment to the world. We are going to now learn in poetry today the beautiful prayer that Sri Maharaji has written himself, and it is the gist of the scriptures. This prayer is universal. The sentiments, the emotions that have been expressed here, the prayer, we all can identify with it. So we will begin with it. I will say a few words at a time and you can repeat after I finish. Spiritual practice is all about the mind. So obviously we try to focus the mind on the words of this prayer and feel that we are actually praying to the divine. Guravi Namah.
Shri Gurave Namah. Shri Gurave Namah. Shri Gurave Namah. Shri Gurave Acharyam Vijaniyan Navamanyet Karvichit Namartya Buddhya Suyet Sarvadeva Mayo Guru. He Param Priyatam, He Param Priyatam, Purnatam Purushottam Shri Krishna,
Purnatam Purushottam Shri Krishna,
तुमसे विमुख होने के कारण,
तुमसे विमुख होने के कारण
अनादिकाल से हमने अनंत दुख पाए, एवं पा रहे हैं,
पाप करते करते
पाप करते करते
अंतःकरण
अंतःकरण
इतना मलिन हो चुका है कि
इतना मलिन हो चुका है कि
रसिकों द्वारा
रसिकों द्वारा
यह जानने पर भी कि तुम अपनी भुजाओं को पसारे
कि तुम अपनी भुजाओं को पसारे
अपनी वात्सल्यमयी दृष्टि से
अपनी वात्सल्यमयी दृष्टि से
हमारी प्रतीक्षा कर रहे हो
हमारी प्रतीक्षा कर रहे हो
तुम्हारी शरण में नहीं आ पाता
तुम्हारी शरण में नहीं आ पाता
हे अशरण शरण
हे अशरण शरण
तुम्हारी कृपा के बिना
तुम्हारी कृपा के बिना
तुम्हें कोई जान भी तो नहीं सकता
तुम्हें कोई जान भी तो नहीं सकता
ऐसी स्थिति में हे अकारण करुणा
हे अकारण करुणा
अतित पावन श्री कृष्ण
पतित पावन श्री कृष्ण
तुम अपनी अहित की कृपा से
तुम अपनी अहित की कृपा से
हमको अपना लो
हमको अपना लो
हे करुणा सागर
हे करुणा सागर
हम भक्ति मुक्ति आदि
हम भक्ति मुक्ति आदि
कुछ भी नहीं मानते
कुछ भी नहीं मानते
हमें तो
केवल
तुम्हारे निष्काम प्रेम की
तुम्हारे निष्काम प्रेम की
एकमात्र चाह है
एकमात्र चाह है
हे नाथ
हे नाथ
अपने विरत की ओर देखकर
अपने विरत की ओर देखकर
इस अधम को निराश ना करो
निराश न करो
हे जीवन धन
हे जीवन धन
अब बहुत हो चुका
अब बहुत हो चुका
अब तो तुम्हारे प्रेम के बिना
अब तो तुम्हारे प्रेम के बिना
यह जीवन मृत्यु से भी अधिक भयानक है
मृत्यु से भी अधिक भयानक है
अतएव
प्रेम
प्रेम भिक्षाम दे
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 बोलिए साकेत बिहारी श्री राघवेंद्र सरकार की जय वृंदावन बिहारी श्री यादवेंद्र सरकार की जय श्रीमद सतगुरु सरकार की जय 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 श्री राधे जय जय श्री राधे जय जय श्री राधे. So spiritual practices about the mind. If we want to physically do something, for instance, read a book or do some puja, it's all up to us. But the focus is the mind, because the mind is the cause of all bondage, and it's through this mind that we'll be liberated. Now, we have only one mind, right? And that mind is attached to the world. Now what do? we have to empty the mind. As the great saint Kabir said, कबीरा मनवा एक है, भावे जहाँ लगाए, चाहे हरि की भक्ति कर, चाहे विषय लगाए. You have one mind, the choice is yours. Either attached to the world or to God. Now the problem is the choice is not there because it's already attached. It's attached to the world. So the process of practical devotion is emptying the mind. And what we heard from Sri Krishna today, he said it's a dual process. Detachment and practice, or detachment and attachment. Detaching the mind from here and attaching it there, and detaching with understanding, the right wisdom. What do we want? We want to be perfectly happy. We want peace. And the moment the mind is sure, I will not get it here, I will get it there, right? Then it has no problems. It will go there. So, it sounds simple, but as I said, because of the deep-rooted attachment, this knowledge takes time to get embedded in the mind that what I'm seeking is not this side, it is this side. I'm moving in the wrong direction. So therefore, detachment with the right knowledge. So we have very, very beautiful couplets composed by Sri Maharaji. He's put all the scriptures in the form of couplets as well, which is called Radha Govind Geet, 11,111 couplets. So the whole Gita is there, the Bhagavad is there, the Vedas are there, everything has been put into it. So we have some of these beautiful couplets which help us to detach. So one part of the process is detachment, and the other part of the process is spiritual practice or attachment. This is extremely rare. What you're doing here is a very, very special grace. So begin with that, and then realizing that we always postpone spiritual practice. Oh, let me finish this job, let my children grow up, let me get this new house, let me get a new job, let this happen, that happen, and that day never comes. So we do not know when we will lose this opportunity. That's why it says, Tan ka bharosa nahi. There's no reliability. This human form is fragile. You don't know when you lose it. So that child is innocent. We have to come to the stage of that innocent child. No malice, no pretensions. That we have to do in the world, because that's how we manage the world. We cannot outspokenly say what we think. So here we have to have that kind. But with the spiritual realm, we have to be innocent. Bhole Balak. He knows we are not perfect. Yes, this is what I have. My mind keeps going to the world. I have more attachment for my dog than I have for you. That's the reality. Okay, he knows that. So innocence. And with that, to cry. This, in the material world, tears is a sign of weakness. The person is not strong. But in the spiritual realm, tears are the sign of your strength. Because that's what's going to bend Sri Krishna. Our tears for him. Tears of longing. When will I see you? So many millions, countless of lives have passed. And you are mine. At least you know that. I have forgotten. Come and help me. Come and help this child of yours. So tears. So Driga Asuvana so poya. He doesn't want your garland of diamonds or gold or whatever. He wants a garland of tears. And how can we put a garland of tears? Sri Krishna says, I reside in your heart, isn't it? He says in the Bhagavad Gita, Hridde Shejana Tishtati. He's here. 2 eyes, the tears go rolling down, they come down, they form a garland. You've given him a garland, and that's what he wants. Because you can only shed tears for somebody whom you love, right? In longing. So Pahiravat Urudham, he's inside, so I will constantly garland you with my tears of longing. And then Lalita Tribhanga Ananga Vimohana Sumirat Athoyam. There are so many forms of the divinity, there's only one God. Now, obviously, the mind wants something attractive. It runs to the world because everything is attractive over here. So you have to give the mind an attractive form, a beautiful form. So Krishna avatar madhurati madhurapatadi. The form of Sri Krishna is the most beautiful, the most loving, the most compassionate form of the divinity, and he is all rounded. Every emotion, I want him as a child, fine, I'm there. I want you as a friend. That also, so every emotion that human beings have naturally, when he descended, he performed those very pastimes so that you can link to whatever sentiments you want to have towards him, right? So therefore that form, that triple bent form of his, that's a unique form. He is Sri Ram, but there he's standing straight. When he comes as Krishna, every action is also crooked. You know how he fought the Mahabharata? Everything is crooked. So everything about him, even his standing, it's a very beautiful way he stands. Triple bent posture. Sumirat Athoyam, contemplate on that beautiful form. The mind finds it difficult to meditate. So put reminders wherever you can. Whatever you see, it brings about thinking. Of course, things have the vibration of their own. That's a different matter. But definitely it brings thoughts, isn't it? You see a picture of Sri Krishna, you start thinking. You see him talking to Arjun, the Bhagavad Gita, then you're thinking about that. Those important truths which he shared. Your mind is thinking about that. Oh, that particular wisdom. He said, come and surrender to me. There your mind is thinking, isn't it? So when we have things that are there to remind you, place them around for your mind. We need helping. We need a help in the beginning. The growing mind needs protection, as Ramakrishna Paraman said. When you have those little nursery plants, protection, etc., it needs help. So we need the same thing. Sumirat Athoyam. Once there is, as I said, when love takes over, then you don't need, oh, I must sit for spiritual practice, this is my time. It's a natural part of your thinking. The mother goes to work, leaving her child in the nursery, right? In this country, people do it a lot. What happens? Does she forget about the child all day? No. All the time that she is working, the child is at the back of her mind, isn't it? And she's looking at her watch, waiting for the day to pass. I want to go back home. I wonder if the child has eaten. I hope he didn't cry. I hope this happened. She's thinking of the child while it's working. When we can do that, because the attachment is there, now my child. The same process, when that feeling comes, gets stronger and stronger, then you start thinking. You can't help it. Or rasana so nishivasara china china gavati hari gunagram. I said the whole thing is the mind, but we have the 5 sense organs, right? So we can use them as helping hands to the mind. And that's why in this age of Kali Yuga, Sankirtan, the process of Sankirtan, chanting the name, has been mentioned as the process of reaching your goal. Very simple. We love music. And when you chant, what happens? The tongue gets involved and the ears also. 2 sense organs. The mind gets the help of 2 sense organs. When you do japa, what happens? It's just your mind. And it's a repetition of the same word. What happens? Then the mind says goodbye within no time. Either it dozes off, or either it runs here, there and everywhere. So when you chant, it becomes easy. So here it says rasana. Rasana means with the tongue. With the tongue, I'm going to be chanting the name and the glories, the different beautiful qualities of Sri Krishna. Look at him, that poor friend of his. He's a king. When a king, you don't want to even know anybody who's really poor. When you were a child, oh yes, yeah, we were friends, but now I'm a king. No. He put Sudama on the throne, shed tears, and washed that Brahmin's feet. And gave him a whole kingdom. So this is his compassion. And of course in Vrindavan it's full of it. How he, the Supreme Lord, all-powerful, he bends down and there he is playing with all those village friends and pretending to be horse, giving them all the enjoyment, snatching food morsels and eating, because for them they are devotees. And he always serves his devotees. So this is the realm of love. And he deliberately descended for us to be able to have that kind of feeling. Yes, that's possible for me as well. That's why he did it. Used your mind. The most important is the mind, the meditation of Sri Krishna. That's most important, but you cannot be doing it all the time, isn't it? We can use our eyes whenever we sit for meditation, that feeling of longing. When? Life is passing out. I don't even know how long I have. When will that day come? Countless lifetimes have passed without you. As Tulsidas writes, Ha Raghunandana Prana Pirite Tum bin jiyat bahut din beete. So many lifetimes, so many days. Even this lifetime has gone by. When? So with the years, Shravana Sunat Nit Priyatam Charcha Sudha Madhur Madhuna. Milk of the mind is mixed with the water of the world, the milk becomes diluted. However, if the milk of the mind is converted into butter with the chanting of the divine name, right? Then that butter, you put it into water, is not going to mix. So till this mind gets to that stage of getting into a butter stage, then we have to be cautious. I remember the example of Socrates. One person came so excitedly running to him. I've got something to tell you. I've got something. He said, hold on. Have you passed what you want to tell me through 3 sieves? You know what sieves are? वो छाननी होती है ना, strainers. He said, what you are telling me, is it the truth? He said, no, I just heard it. And he said, what you are going to tell me, is it something nice? No, it's the other way around. Second sieve. What about the third? Is it necessary for you to tell me that? No, it is not. Then forget about it, go home. So that's it. So many irrelevant things. We are very conscious of the cleanliness of the clothes. If somebody has dropped coffee over here, you will avoid sitting there. Clothes will get dirty. But what about the mind? That is more important than anything else. Everybody is throwing rubbish into the mind. And we want to cleanse it because that's going to be the temple where Sri Krishna is going to come and sit. We have to clean it. We have to clear it of all the clutter of material Maya. So, we have to be cautious. That's why Sri Maharaji says Shravana. Shravana means with the ears. I constantly listen to beautiful glories of Sri Krishna, of saints, and his sweet nectarian names. You see, when you start loving him, then the name of Krishna is so sweet to your ears. So in the same way, when will Sri Krishna, my Shyam Sundar, all the different names, when you have love, those names, they really, it's like nectar flowing into your ears. तो हम कृपालु उनके वे मेरे कहा जगत सो काम मैं उनका वो मेरे. This all the time. One whole lecture series was given by Maharaji. What do you need to remember? वे ही हमारे हैं, हम उनके हैं. और कुछ मत सोचो. वे ही हमारे हैं. Because हम दो हमारे दो. तो शरीर का संसार और आत्मा के वो. तो उसको रिपीट करो हर समय. I belong to him. He belongs to me. तो जगत में तो आए हैं. This earth is a school. We are here to learn lessons and reach home. This is not a permanent home. Not at all. The lessons are here for us to learn. You can call it a training ground. You can call it a school, whatever. या पागल खाना कह दो. Yeah, we have come for treatment.
All those who do not know who the I is, they are sent here for treatment to know who the I is. Once we realize that, then you're out of this madhouse. So we have saints also who come here. They come to treat us. And they tell us, look, you're not normal. This identification with the body, you're a fool. So when they tell us that we are mad, we tell them, you are mad. This is what happens. Okay. So this madness is so deeply rooted into the mind about the importance of the world and about the body identification. So that doesn't come in with the intensity. So it is practice. We have to, be very dogged about it for some time. And when it happens, the whole thing is about pehle lagana, fir lag jana, to no problem. Lagana. Divert the mind from here, attach it there. Again it will go back. Again you divert it with reason, with understanding, and attach it there. So it's a process. So today we have learned through poetry about detachment and this beautiful attachment. This is what devotion is about. See there, we haven't done anything very difficult, recitation of mantras or fasting or any kind of thing. We've used your sense organs just for a longing for somebody whom we belong to since time immemorial, and it is forgetfulness of Him which is the reason for suffering. That it is, a memory loss. Forget what the scriptures say. One psychologist, you probably heard his name, Carl Jung. He said, man is separated from the root of his being, from God. And when God goes, the goal goes. When the goal goes, the meaning goes. When the meaning goes, value goes, and life turns dead in your hands. This is what he said. So we have disconnected from the root of our being, and that's why life becomes empty, inane, and meaningless. So it's all about that connection. This separateness from Him is responsible for all the cycle of birth and death, the suffering. And whatever suffering we experience is like a call from the Lord, come back to me. That's what the world is. So get out, and I'm waiting for you. Our relationship is with Him. So the last line says, Ham kripalu unke ve mere.